Very interesting. I never actually, when I read this, I thought this was very profound and very fascinating, and I didn't really understand maybe previously how important it is to cultivate perceptions. And of course, you find that once you start reading the suttas, the Buddha very often talks about this idea of cultivating perceptions, because implied in the idea that you should know which perceptions lead to decline, to increase, and to eventual fine knowledge of the Dhamma, implied in that is that perceptions are changeable. We can choose our perceptions. We can actually decide how we want to look at things. These things are not fixed. These things are not something which are set in concrete. We can choose ourselves how to perceive the world. And of course, this is a very fundamental and important part of the Buddhist teachings, that things aren't permanent, that they are not set in a certain way, but that they are changeable. And our choice is paramount to actually how we see the world and how we look upon the world. So this is sort of one of the foundation principles of Buddhism. And because of that, we can actually, that's why we can develop perception, we can change. And you may think, as a Buddhist, you may think this is pretty obvious, that it's quite clear that we can change our perceptions. But for most people in the world, this is not obvious at all. And the reason it's not, one way of looking at this, of understanding this, is to think of people sometimes who get very depressed, even to the point where they commit suicide. And now why is it that somebody commits suicide? Because they are depressed, or because they are sad, or because they are grieving for something? And the reason is because they think that that particular perception that they have, they cannot see it changing. They think they are stuck with that. They see no way out. And because they don't see a way out, that's why they think that they can annihilate this, destroy this perception by actually taking their own life.